Insolite Tales of the Beyond presents The Alternate Angles of Superdimensional Analysis, Chapter 7, Part 1 by Original Manny. The choice to play or not to play this video and the value that it will have for you is completely up to you. You have 5 seconds to decide. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The title of this video is Melanin-Adrenaline Part 1. We have been told a story about our evolution from apes. In my opinion, when a story or theory becomes progressively more complicated and starts to resemble a labyrinth to nowhere, it becomes harder and harder for me to keep believing it. This is mainly true when we keep finding more and more erected structures around the world that defy our current understanding of construction methods and the technology that they would require, not to mention the understanding of the laws of physics and the geometry to which they point. The following is what I gathered from one of my contemplational reviews. It occurred to me that melanin and adrenaline have an overbearing influence on the current state of humanity. This was the trigger for Chapter 7. It has become impossible to ignore the strange form of dementia afflicting so many in the so-called white race. Please let me be clear. Not all members of the white race suffer from this condition. However, the portion of them that do is considerable enough to cause havoc on this planet. An analysis of the works of these unignorable portion of humanity reveals that left to their own device, they will cause the annihilation of humanity in its totality. We therefore cannot afford to not understand what is that produced this phenomenon, nor to ignore the need for a solution. Through one of my contemplational reviews, I have concluded that human behavior is a direct result of the effects of two very important hormones known as melanin and adrenaline. These two hormones play a crucial role in the functioning of human beings. Adrenaline is the accelerator and melanin are the brakes. They allow the human being to maneuver the road of life the best way they can. A person who is deficient in the production of either one will have a hard time functioning in society. This means that the so-called black people have a propensity for even temperament, but should not be pushed over the brink, while so-called white people have a propensity to find an outlet for their pent-up energy. Both groups have developed mental disciplines to try and maintain balance, but white people are the ones with a hormonal deficiency. Now, let's just say that it is time for a different genesis. For a long time, science was convinced that the universe started about 13 billion years ago. Now they have to analyze the data they are getting from the James Webb telescope. that is challenging this theory. In my opinion, the universe has always existed and will continue to do so forever. The reason why I say this is because the classical laws of physics are themselves sitting on top of quantum physics, being that in quantum physics there is no space nor time. You therefore cannot have a time of beginning, nor a locality to start from. All you can have in quantum physics is measure. This means that a symphony can be played forever, but still needs measure to be synchronized. If we never found quantum physics underlying classical physics, I would then consider the possibility of a finite universe, even though it's impossible to conceive something emerging from nothing. The problem is that this nothing would have to be something. In my opinion, quantum physics is not going anywhere. Even if we were to accept that the universe does have the age of 13 billion years, very, very few people can partially wrap their mind around such a duration. Within that context, and knowing how much the world changed in the last 125 years, let's imagine that some intelligent species on some planet somewhere out there managed to go around the speed of light barrier and leave it in the dust, let's say about 6 billion years ago. Trust me, we just can't fathom this kind of progress. However, there's one thing I believe would remain constant, and that is the need to reproduce organically, because the love of a mother for her newborn child is the source of all love. The entire system we call the universe, including quantum physics, cannot function without the sacred event. Therefore, multiplication by organic reproduction is inevitable. For this reason, the prime directive, even of the most advanced civilization in the universe, will always be the discovery and the management of suitable planets for organic reproduction by mothers. It then becomes easy to conclude that they would certainly have a classification system to grade the planets they discover. As per my contemplations, the classification system would be as follows. There would be 1. Grade A planets with a tropical climate at the equator. 2. Grade B planets with 2 tropical climates at midpoint between the equator and the poles, with subtropical poles, but with a deserted equator. 3. Grade C planets with tropical climate at the poles. 4. Grade D planets with winter-like climates at the equator. 5. There would be class E planets of extreme condition life forms. Then there would be, number 6, class F planets of elemental resources. As for the people who, for some unknown reasons, want to cling to the idea that in this infinite universe, containing an infinite number of galaxies, with an infinite amount of stars, with an infinite amount of planets and moons, they have to come up with a theory that explains how and why Earth was spared from the total sterilization of the universe. The expected type of nature of grade A planets leads one to believe that as far as the human species is concerned, would always favor melanated people, meaning black people, as they are the most adapted to survive high doses of solar radiation. Earth is a grade A planet, but there is no such thing as a perfect planet due to solar fluctuations, subterraneous telluric activities, and subterraneous telluric activities. Being that melaninated humans best fit the grade A planets, we can easily deduce that they are the best biologically tuned form of the human species. We will continue our analysis of the effects of human skin complexion from black to white in part 2 of chapter 7. Please stay tuned for the next video. Nice talking to you.